What's up everyone, welcome to a new video here on this second channel where we always do a little bit more of a behind the scenes, give you an insight, sometimes action. This time no action in this video. We're just going to talk about my new role in the PWA World Tour, which you might have seen it on social media, you might not have seen it. I'm the new president of the PWA World Tour, and in this video I want to give you a little bit of an insight into why I took this role, first of all, what it actually means, what I'm going to do, and what I will do going forward and what it means for the channel and so on. Actually, there are two new roles. One of them is the chairperson of the board, which I will tell you in a second what that means, and the second one is the PWA president. So these are voluntary roles. That means it's by no means a full-time job. I'll put as much time into it as I can. But also everything will stay the same. That means I'll keep pushing to make the best videos possible. I will keep on competing on the highest level. I will keep on with my clinics, and I will keep on pushing to become the best surf shop in Europe with the Surf Center, my surf shop. So all of these things are very near and dear to me, so I will keep on with those, and I'll try to give my best in my new roles. And I want to tell you guys what those roles entail for me, because I think part of the special connection we have here on YouTube is that I always or almost always share with what's going on in my life, and take you into it, be transparent with it, and that's what I want to do now. So first things first, the PWA is a non-profit organization. It was formed by the sailors, and I'm quoting the constitution here, to promote the popularity of windsurfing through competitions and events. So that's what the constitution of the PWA says. The PWA has a management board. It consists of 3 sailors or 4 sailor representatives and 3 brand representatives. So the sailors have a slight majority. We're 4 sailors versus 3 brands, which makes sense because the association was formed by sailors, so they kind of want to have the upper hand by constitution. So this board is the core of the PWA and takes all the critical decisions. And in my new position, I'm the new chairperson of this board. So that means in short that I have a vote on the board as a sailor representative. I guide the meetings, and I try to keep a helicopter view of all the arguments and try to kind of put things into perspective, and of course also give my own input and opinion. So that means I can't just go out and decide things myself, which is what I think some of the people who saw it were thinking. Whenever I have an idea, I have to just like anyone in the board, lay out all the different arguments and convince the others why I think that idea is good. I also want to or need to make sure that everyone in the board is acting in their own interest, and that includes myself, but instead in the benefit of the sport. For example, I'm currently 8th in the world ranking, so I could change arguments in a way where the top 8 of the world should have certain benefits rather than the top 10 or top 5 or whatever, just to make sure I include myself into that rule. So that would be pushing for my own benefits. Maybe in some certain cases it would make sense to use that top 8, but whenever it doesn't make sense, I shouldn't argue for that just because I am in 8th position, if that makes sense. In my role as a PWA president, I'm basically the ambassador of the PWA. So I'm giving speeches at opening ceremonies, I shake hands with organizers and sponsors. I basically try to make them feel welcome, and my personal goal is to get them emotionally invested into the sport, if they're not yet. And that's how things are in a nutshell. Now the question is why I would do that. I'm obviously busy enough. I could spend the time and effort better in my training, clinics, videos, etc. But I've always seen a lot of opportunities for the sport. I love the sport in a recreational way, but I also love the competition, and I always feel like there are better ways to show the competition, and I would love to get more people interested in following it. whether they're windsurfers already or whether they're not windsurfers yet. And I think that the pro riders, including myself, are taking so much risk. They're so dedicated, and I really want them to be successful in the sport and in life. So I hope I can make a difference for the athletes on tour. So I see a lot of opportunities in value we create for windsurfers and future windsurfers, people who are watching and following, and value we can create for the riders competing. And I think for now the easiest way to make that happen is obviously finding new event organizers and sponsors. So it's not like we have a long waiting list right now. We're super open for new interested and potential organizers, and that's, I think, the most important for us now. So back to why I would actually do it. Over the last month, prior to the election, I received a lot of calls and messages with encouragement for me to take this position from both rider side and brand side, from the management and from the former president Jimmy. We had a lot of good conversations, and from parties who have been fighting each other and had problems finding a common ground. And I don't want to go into details, but there have been a lot of things not going the right way in the PWA behind the scenes, and I felt like that I could be a common ground and help guiding the situation, and especially guide to hopefully better days for the PWA. So then I had a big dilemma, and I spent a lot of time thinking if I should actually take on this role and do it, because I really love the things I'm already working on, and I felt like this could compromise or take a toll on my private time, because obviously I have to create new time for this position. Everything else takes the time it takes, and now this role would cost me extra time. So in the end I came to the conclusion that the downside, if I don't do it, could be pretty big and severe, whereas the upside, if I decide to do it, has a lot of potential. And I felt like the gap between those two were so big that I couldn't really make a selfish decision. And yeah, so I came to the conclusion that I should take this position and give back to the sport that has given me personally a lot of positive moments. So yeah, I realized maybe it's my time to give back to the sport. And if I could choose, obviously I would have preferred to do this when I'm 40 or 45, but that's just not how life works. Most of the time you can't decide when things happen to you and when things come your way. And I like to do things properly and seriously, so I really had to make a proper decision and figure it out whether I do it or not. Perhaps it's just a temporary thing to make sure things get back up and running, and I could help out the moment it was needed, which I hope I can do. Maybe not, that remains to be seen, obviously. But yeah, that's it for now. That's my decision, that's my new role. Thank you guys for watching. Hope I could give you a little bit of an insight. Thanks for all your support, of course. So many positive encouragement, comments on all these posts on social media, so thanks a lot for that. I really appreciate it, and let's push forward for the sport of windsurfing. See you in the next one.